Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuning.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a... here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On second down, Williams. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Third and long, it's Taylor. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go. Green.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now. Ooh, landed.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. New York set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for the defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jamie Meter able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. First carry for Nick Chubb. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's Taylor. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can...
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's Njoku over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Set. Blue 90.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
On third down, Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, Taylor. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Flag 32. Flag 32.
On third down, Taylor. And he locates Walker, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And Taylor's throw there should have been intercepted, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Taylor going to give now to Williams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Second down, Mayfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield.
He's got his man. That's Landry. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Screenplay, Johnson. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. He'll get it up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Walker. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field.
The 2nd half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, 2nd half. Let's do it. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is fielded at the top of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Falcons have opened up the lead there to a couple of scores. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. And they start the 2nd half with Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, it's Johnson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And out across midfield down to the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw is Taylor. To throw on third down. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
New York set to take. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because
blitz coming, and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Complete outright to Kurz. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They begin the drive with Johnson.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Mayfield off the play fake. Escaping the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
The tackle by Tremaine Johnson. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
1st down, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the 1st.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Johnson. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
3-19.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Mayfield now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Now it's Ellington to return. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now Taylor on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to
nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Michael Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Ready. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, man.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Here we go now.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he loses the football a second time. And the Jets have recovered.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two. Score a cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Carl Nassib in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Now it's Taylor. Powering his way forward. And this is caught by Curse. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. And Walker with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Here's Taylor. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Taylor to throw. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Joe Schobert leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Throwing now is Taylor. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And with And just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take